Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for the next 3 days. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or the 7th, 8th and 9th of June 2024. So while you're coming over, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is the most beautiful day. It's almost like summer outside. In fact, I was going outside to do this video, but the neighbour has music going very loud, so I thought I won't. But it's so beautiful, and it is Friday the 7th of June, and the time is 10:35 a.m. And welcome, hi Kyle, welcome. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards that I created. I've got 2 decks combined, the Speed of Light oracle cards and my Animal Kingdom oracle cards, and I'll be using this deck of 110 cards to find the best cards that the majority of us need for Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then I'll look for the best card for the theme for those 3 days. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone, so I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and what that reason is will be personal for you. It could be a big reason, it could be a little reason. It could be a feeling, it could be something that's absolutely clear, and it will vary each time, but hopefully more often that you come back to these videos and build a what would you say, actually, like a relationship, I guess, with the cards, and probably a trust in my interpretation of them, then the more you're probably going to get out of these sorts of videos. So I think that's all I need to say. So let's get started. Pamela, good morning. And Judy, good morning. Welcome to you all. So good to see you. So I am looking for the best card for Friday the 7th of June. Friday the 7th of June, I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need for Friday. If it's not quite Friday for you yet, you can think of this as guidance in advance. And please go back to my previous video for Thursday's guidance. So the best card for Friday the 7th of June for the majority of us is this. It's an Animal Kingdom oracle card, and it is the Wolf card 48. And it says to secure your boundaries. So Friday seems to be a good day to check on our boundaries, secure them, reinforce them, and perhaps notice where we are being a bit lazy or a bit, what would the right word be here? A bit lazy or a little a little too flexible with our boundary setting. So if we feel drained and overwhelmed, or we feel like we're being taken advantage of, what do we need to solidify, or where are our boundary fences down, and what can we do to repair those fences to make sure our boundaries are secure and healthy and supportive for us. And that's all I probably really need to say around that. Secure those boundaries on Friday. So let's be careful that we're not being taken advantage of, and we're not, I want to say, like overly giving of ourselves, so much so that we're probably draining ourselves, or overwhelmed, or feeling resentful and stressed out. So if we're just giving relentlessly, then there's probably some securing we could do with our boundaries. So that's that. Hi, Kathy. So I'm now looking for the best card for Saturday, the 8th of June, 2024. So Saturday, the 8th of June, the best card that the majority of us need for Saturday, the 8th of June, is another Animal Kingdom. You know, I sound a bit shocked because I think the last reading, it was all Speed of Light, and most of the time it tends to be Speed of Light Oracle at the moment, even though we have the same amount of cards here in the deck. So Saturday, we have a dragon, and on the back we have another dragon. So the two dragons were together. They won't be for too much longer because now I'm separating them, and we have the Earth Dragon that's come up for Saturday. So those of you who are new to watching, the dragons are the most powerful cards in the deck. We find them in the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and there are 5 dragons. This is one of them. So they're connected with the elements, and this is the Earth Dragon. It's card 25, and it says physical reformation. So physical reformation, it kind of feels like, and this might not just be for Saturday, but in general at this time, that there's a lot of moulding and shifting and pushing away and bringing in different things in our life, where our life itself physically, in our body, in our physical life and how it looks, is physically changing. So there's a lot of energy at work, it feels, that's bringing things to the surface to let go, bringing things to the surface to, now what's the word here? Bring things to the surface to continue or to further develop or to further align ourselves with. When I drew this dragon, I could feel its claws. It's like huge, and it's walking across the earth, and it's pulling up the earth and creating mountains, and it's pushing down the earth and creating valleys. So as it walks, it's pushing and pulling and really reforming the earth itself. So that translating to us in our life suggests that there are things that are coming up, things that are going down, things that are going away, things that are coming in, and things that are really reforming and changing. This is unlikely to just happen on Saturday. So this feels like a general energy that some of us are probably feeling at the moment, where we've got change in the air, we're maybe preparing for something, and it's probably something that's quite physical. So physical in our body or physical in our life, in regards to our physical life itself. So that's for Saturday. We have the Earth Dragons. That's very fun. Let's pop that back in the middle of the deck. And I'm looking now for the best card for Sunday, the 9th of June. So the best card the majority of us need for Sunday, the 9th of June, 2024, is this here. It's another Animal Kingdom. Not that I'm complaining, I'm just surprised. And we have the monkey, card 13, the monkey, for monkeying around on Sunday. It says to cooperate, simple, cooperate. Cooperate. So where do we need to find more cooperation or cooperate more? This could be to do with ourselves. Sometimes in a weird kind of twisted way, sometimes we actually resist and we are uncooperative with ourselves. So let's make sure we're cooperating with how we feel, cooperating with our rationality perhaps, or the things that, our truth, the things that are important to us. Are we cooperating with others, or are we pushing against? Are we promoting conflict? Are we keeping ourselves at distance between us and others that doesn't need to be there? There's also a sense of a question. I feel like this little symbol up here feels like a question mark, a question that's hovering around our head. You know, why? Why did this happen? Why do you feel that way? Why did you treat me like this? What can I do in this situation? Where am I going moving forward? What is the best thing for me to focus on to stay in alignment and in a cooperative, aligning, harmonious, balanced state with myself and my life? So there feels to be like a hovering question of sorts, a what, why, where, when kind of question that's hovering in our mind on Sunday. So usually when we have a question, we don't typically have an answer straight away, but if we get clear about the question, so for example, if we're looking for clarity on something, if there's something that we're dealing with in our life that feels unclear and we don't know what to do, it's really good, I find, to reel it back and ask, or make sure that I'm creating a really clear question. Because when I have a clear question that hits exactly what I'm looking for, and not, sometimes we think that, sometimes if we're looking for some clarity, we can have a distorted muddle of question or problem that's kind of hovering that we're not really clear on. And sometimes we think we're looking for the clarity or the solution or the answer that is actually not actually what we're asking, or not actually what we want. It's kind of a bit confusing, like we're looking for the answer before we even clearly have the question. And it might sound ridiculous in some ways, but I find it really helpful for me to actually find the clarity that I'm looking for and make sure that I'm hunting for the right answer that's coming from the right question. So if we find that we're looking for clarity or an answer or a solution to a problem, let's make sure that we have a clear question, a clear problem that we're looking for the answer or clarity for. Because when that question is clear, when it's clear and when it's in alignment with our truth, then there's a better chance for that clarity or that answer to come in sooner because the question is clearer. I don't know if I've explained that very well, but let's just make sure our questions are clear so that we can get a clear-cut answer and we know where we stand, we know what we're doing, instead of fluffing around the edges and pretending that things are not what they really are, let's say. So that's the monkey. The monkey is also sociable, so there's probably a social element for some of us on Sunday. And there's a sense of flow with the monkey, like it's swinging from branch to branch, from tree to tree. So there is a rhythm, there is a flow with the monkey as well. So let's move with the energy as best as we can and not trip ourselves up on a vague question or a vague problem and be hoping and expecting some clear clarity, some clear answer when we're not even clear about the question or the problem. So what is the problem? What are the nuts and bolts here? What is the core or crux of this issue? Because once we're clear about that, then the clarity and the answer, the solution, will more clearly come in. I think that has probably come through clearly, hopefully. So that's that. So thank you. Thanks for connecting today. I've finished pulling the cards that I'm pulling for now, but I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment. Before I do, though, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please interact. Please hit the like button, show us some thumbs up. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, then please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to learn more about my cards here, the Animal Kingdom, or the Speed of Light, you can learn more about them on my website. You can work with the deck on its own. It doesn't have to be combined. But if you want more depth in your reading, then combining them is actually quite fun and quite insightful. So check those out on my website if you like. And if you'd like to support my work, or if you'd like to learn more about the work that I do here at Temple of Balance, then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. I have my next card reading club on Zoom. It happens once a month. It's happening next Thursday, the 13th of June. And my next online art class is happening on Friday, the 14th of June. And we're looking at the solar plexus chakra. So if you'd like to learn more about those, or if you'd like to become a member or join me on Patreon, Temple of Balance on Patreon, I am hosting my 6-monthly solstice online gathering on the 21st of June, which is free. It's part of the membership if you're a member. So please consider joining if you'd like to be a part of that and see what the membership's about. So I just dropped a bunch of cards, so I'm just going to pick them up. And then we're going to look for our best theme cards. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the 7th, 8th and 9th of June 2024. So what's the bigger picture here? What's at play on a higher level? The best card to show us that is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. And it's this. It's Expression, card 31. And it says down here, communication, listen, share, deliver, and trust. So this is a communication card, but it's more than that too. It's not just what we're verbally saying. It's expression. So it's looking at how we can express energy. Now, expression is basically moving energy. So when we have a deep feeling about something or a problem and we're hovering and we're sitting on it and we're stewing and stressing and it's brewing inside of us, there's not much energy probably moving. If we're stuck with that and we're looking for clarity, like I talked about before, but we're not clear on the problem, then it's just going to hover. Clarity is going to be slow to arrive because we're not clear on the question and we're not clear on the problem. We haven't got to the nuts and bolts of the issue. So when we're not at the nuts and bolts of the issue, or when we're denying ourselves of how we really feel, or even of the truth in these situations, then the energy becomes bottled up and stagnant inside. So if you were to tell me that you're currently feeling stagnant and stuck, then that's a sure sign that the energy's not moving. There's something that you're not quite nailing. There's something that you're not quite, that you haven't quite got the understanding or the reason, not necessarily the reason, but the clarity of the issue is probably not established. Or there could be an avoidance, a denial, distracting ourselves from the truth, pretending something's okay when it isn't, or pretending something's not okay when it actually is. Those types of things can tend to bottle energy up inside us. So this expressive energy, this expression, is basically getting that energy moving. And often a part of that can be through verbal communication. So there might be something that some of us need to say or share or deliver, some words, some truth. This could even be to ourselves. So sometimes it's also being honest with ourselves that actually I've got a problem with this. Actually, I'm not happy here. Actually, this is really stressful for me. Actually, I feel really angry about that. By admitting these things to ourselves, it's already getting the energy moving. So it can be communication with ourselves, really listening to what's happening within us, what we're thinking, but also paying attention to our reactions to things can also be connected here. So communicating with ourselves, listening and having a dialogue, asking ourselves questions perhaps so we can get those clear answers. Also communication potentially with others if there's air that we need to clear that we haven't cleared yet. That may be part of this card and this theme energy. But it's not necessarily only connected with being verbal. So listening is also really important. Listening to what others are really saying, listening to the truth and paying attention to the truth of things. Noticing how we're feeling in our body and where we feel heavy and stagnant and blocked. And why do we feel that? What are we not tapping into here that's needing to move? Because all the energy wants to do is move. So it's expression, it's movement, it's motion, it's emotion. Emotion just wants to be in motion. So it's not kind of natural or normal or feels very comfortable for us to be sitting in a hovering, bottled up energy that's just getting heavier and heavier and we're becoming more and more stagnant and stuck. That's like the opposite of how the energy moves and flows and ebbs and that kind of thing. So there are other forms of expression like arts or being creative, even moving our body, so getting physically active, especially if we've got a lot of heavy mental energy that's playing out, if we're thinking the worst or we're feeling overwhelmed, or we've got stuff that we're worrying about that's very mental. Often getting physically active can really help sort of let that energy run its course. Otherwise it just spins around and we get sort of stuck in this negative loop on a mental level. So some of us might find this over these next few days, getting physically active, getting into the garden, doing some exercise, going for a walk, a nice long walk or a run if you're up to it, or doing a big house clean. That's a great way to shift energy as well is to have a real good clean up of the house, or a big clean up of a room or a cupboard or the car or something like this. Also is a part of that expression, so it helps get energy moving. And if we notice we're holding on too tightly to something that's really not moving, it could be the past or something that happened, something that we're struggling to move past, then letting go may also be of benefit. Surrendering, letting go of our hold, or the hold that this thing has on us that is stopping us from moving in our life, stopping us from moving forward. So there's a lot in this, and there's a lot more that I could be sharing as well around this, but I think this is enough for now. So this is expression, it's communication, it's listening, it's creating, it's physically moving our body, it's trusting in the flow of things, it's recognizing when things are stuck and stagnant and unclear, and realizing that it's up to us to figure out how to get that energy moving. Hopefully some tips I've shared might help you get that ball rolling. And let me know if you've got questions, especially not personal ones, but if you are just feeling stuck and you don't know how to move something, then please just comment on any of my posts at any time. And when I'm online and I see them, because I don't have notifications on, I'll give you some advice. I'm happy to give advice if you need to shift any energy or whatever. So let me know anytime. You're not alone in your moving out of this stagnant place. So let's get the energy moving. Let's keep the energy moving once we get that going. And basically that brings us back into the flow. So then we move with the flow of life. And we steer and we ride and we create and we mold and we bend and we shift and we line ourselves up with people and places and moments that are just right as we get into that flow again. So if you're out of the flow, then this is probably important information for you too. So with all that said, I trust something's resonated and supported you today and for the weekend. Have a great weekend. I look forward to connecting with you again on Monday, and I'll be doing the support videos for patrons, the personal ones and the group one, soon. I've tried to the last couple of days, but I've had obstacles, so I'm just going with that, and maybe it'll be tomorrow, but it will be happening over the weekend, absolutely. So I'll connect with you guys then, and I might see the rest of you maybe on Monday. So have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for watching.